But the great news is that we are in good form. After that great win against Valencia, we've got to fancy our chances to pick up these 3 points. In fact, the last time that Dinamo Kiev visited the Camp Nou, we walked away with a 2-1 victory. So we've got good reason to why not match or improve that performance. But for now, let's get started. As you can see, the flags are out and the sun is shining. Yes, it is an unusual kickoff time for Barça, but you can tell that the thrill of the Champions League nights are back, where Barça face a tough Ukrainian side who in their domestic league have not yet tasted defeat, but in the group stage, however, have picked up a loss and a draw. So, of course, the big question now is who the 11 warriors are that Koeman will line up to face Dinamo Kiev. And for that, why don't we head over to the Camp Nou and connect with our reporter, Mai Rostro. Mai, what have you got to tell us?
Hello, Diego. Yes, you said it before. Unusual kickoff, 6:45 p.m. But let's start with the 11 men that will play this game tonight against Dinamo Kiev. We have Ter Stegen in goal, Mingueza, Piqué, Lenglet, Jordi Alba in defense, Busquets, Gavi, De Jong in midfield, up front Dest, Luke De Jong, and Memphis. The news, Gavi, first game in the starting 11 in the Champions League. And we can't forget that the first goal for Serginho Dest was against Dinamo Kiev in the Champions League, of course. Well, this is the 11 men, Diego, we have for Barça. Let's see if Koeman can face this game and a must win. And let's connect later with the other lineup.
Thank you very much for that, Mai, and we'll be connecting with you a little bit later indeed to find out the starting 11 for Dinamo Kiev. But now, let me introduce to you today's studio panel. To the right of me, we got Robert van Eekhout, Pau Gasassa, and Bruno Ballester. Boys, your impression of today's starting 11. Pau, why don't we start with you?
Well, my impression is that we're coming after a great match, and so it's a great opportunity to keep going and probably or hopefully have 2 consecutive games with very good sensations or feelings. And it's a demanding game. At the end, it's Champions League, but it's a team that we can win playing the way we want to play. So let's try and do it.
Robert, any surprises for you in this starting 11?
I think we all kind of figured out that Ansu Fati would not start the 3 games this week. He started against Valencia. I think we're all hoping for him to start against Real Madrid in El Clasico. So today he starts off from the bench. His replacement is Luke De Jong. I think Ronald Koeman has found something here with Serginho Dest playing in that wing position. Today with Oscar Mingueza behind him. And I mean, I think Dest and Jordi Alba will have a clear message today. Try and find the target man, Luke De Jong, in there. It'll be one of the weapons that Barca will try to use. And then, obviously, there was the question mark, who will replace Eric Garcia and Ronald Araujo today? Eric is suspended, Araujo is out injured. Clement Lenglet is the option. I don't think we're surprised by that.
Bruno?
And according to what Robert is saying, probably because of Luke De Jong is playing up front, is why he has picked Mingueza instead of Sergio Roberto. He's a kind of more natural defender. Actually, in the B team, he was always playing as a right back. Then his first matches with the first team was as a centre back. Now it seems that he's back there in his natural position, and probably that's why Koeman, I think he has picked him instead of Sergio Roberto, that actually is not a kind of right back that always arrives until the end. And for me, it's another of the surprises of this 11. Today with Oscar Mingueza starting.
Well, before we continue to analyze this match, why don't we hear from our assistant coach, Alfred Schreuder, to find out a little bit more about this match against Dinamo Kiev.
What is the mood of the team? Only a few minutes to start. A very, very important game.
Yes. I think everybody knows the importance of the game, and we have to win, of course. Therefore we have to play good football, and that's important today.
Only 3 changes in the lineup, respect the last game against Valencia, 2 changes in defense with Lenglet and Mingueza. And I want to ask you also about the position of Sergiño Dest, not only where can he play today, what is the feeling that you had with him in the last game?
No, he was playing, of course, more like a right winger, and we know from the past in Ajax in the youth he played always left winger. He knows he knows what to do in that position. He's playing very wide, and he's good in 1-against-1, and we need a lot of in profundidad in the attack in the spaces, and that's important.
And also Luuk de Jong is returning to the lineup. How important can be a player like him, especially with a very physical team in defense as Dinamo Kiev is?
Yes, if they drop, for example, on their own half, we have to create the spaces over the side. And of course, we know that Luuk is very good with crosses. So we have to see how the game is. But of course, Memphis can play also very good on the left and find their spaces, because we know also from Ansu that he cannot start these 3 games.
And the last question is about the Dinamo. What kind of team do you expect? Dinamo didn't lose any game in their league, only 2 losses this season. What team do you expect from Mircea Lucescu?
No, it's a very good team. They play very good football. If you look at the last game, they lost 5-0 from Bayern München, but it was not like the normal result in the game. They played very well a lot of times, and you see that this is a very good coach, that they improve a lot with the ball compared with last season, so it will not be so easy, and they have a lot of good young players.
Thank you, Alfred, and good luck.
Thank you.
The words there of assistant coach Alfred Schreuder, expecting a Dinamo Kiev that is going to be very tight in defense. So, of course, he hopes that the Barça offense will be able to exploit the spaces. Why don't we connect at this point back with our reporter over in the Camp Nou, Mai, to find out what the starting 11 for Dinamo Kiev will be.
Yes, Diego, we already have the 11 men that will start today against Barça for Dinamo. So let's start with Georgi Buchan in goal, Ketsiora, Ilya Zabarny, Sirota, Mikolenko in defense, then Sidorchuk, Shaparenko, Sigankov, Bujalski, Carlos de Pena, and their forward, 89, Vladislav Supriat. This is the 11 men that Lucescu have chosen today to face Barça. And you said it before, the last time they visited us, we won 2-1 against them, and we have them in the group stage last season. We beat them twice. We hope we can do the same tonight.
We absolutely keeping our fingers crossed, of course, for that win. It's an absolute must-win. It's win or pretty much go home in the case of Barça. Anything that won't be advancing to the latter stages cannot be seen as a good thing, of course. But guys, lots of changes with regards to the match against Benfica, of course. How do you guys see these changes? Are they forced changes, or do you think that they're changes, well, to also to take advantage of the fact that we're playing in the Camp Nou, a bigger pitch, of course, as well?
Yeah, I think Barca are going to want to play wide with the likes of Sergiño Dest, with the help, as Bruno said, of Oscar Mingueza, and then Jordi Alba just going up and down the left flank, because we know that Memphis likes to drive inside. And yet, I think that the main enemy for Barca today is not Dinamo Kiev. It's the own pressure that the team will put on themselves, knowing that this is a must-win game. If we're able to beat that, if we're able to come out, be strong, and dominate from the beginning, as we did against Valencia, even though we conceded first, Barca were very impressive in the first half. If we come out with that mentality, with that aggressiveness, I think we'll be fine.
Wow, your impressions?
Well, I'm very excited to see these 3 players in the midfield. I think it's the first time that Frankie de Jong, Sergio Busquets and Gavi play together, at least with the structure that we are all suspecting that will be a 1-4-3-3. Gavi is a player that likes to have the ball. De Jong likes it too, but has more tendency in going up front. So I would love to see what that provokes in our game, and also in the opponents, of course, which will be very curious.
Yes, and I think that probably Koeman, of course, for this kind of games where you are supposed to be dominating, to have Eric Garcia suspended is a kind of a negative point, because he's a player, of course, that gives you a lot when you are moving your lines up front, and that can give you lots of passes to the left, to the right, and to open the game. But well, we also have Clement Lenglet, that is another player that he always plays good with the ball, and it will be also a good test for him in a season that is not having probably the protagonism he had other campaigns. It can be also a good chance for him tonight.
Barça, of course, are coming off of the back of that well, let's call it a very convincing and crucial victory against Valencia as well. In particular, that first half, I think really Barça got into their own and showed their stuff. And Sean, really, that game against Valencia must be the perfect setup to face such an important match against Dinamo.
Yeah, it is. And I think even Ronald Koeman said it. It wasn't all perfect against Valencia. The team kind of slowed down in the second half. We saw a bit of a wear and tear there, but we came out very aggressive in the first half. There's one stat here that I'd like to highlight that says that Dinamo Kiev have suffered the most high turnovers against any other. Sorry, I'll start again. The most high turnovers against, so they've committed the most high turnovers than any other team in the Uefa Champions League in their own half.
Wow, okay.
So if Barca are able to
keep
be effective in that
press.
high pressure, force mistakes, then we'll be able to get opportunities out of that.
Wow. What do you see? Barça in their high press tends to sort of sometimes switch it on and switch it off, also to the dismay sometimes of Ronald Koeman. He would like to see that intensity throughout the 90 minutes. How do you see this?
Well, obviously, having Oscar Mingueza in the starting 11, who's a player that likes to press forward, to run forward, it's a positive thing. I would like to see Luke de Jong on that high pressure. I haven't seen him much in those situations, but it would be very important that he supports on that too. And we know about Gavi that he will be providing this to the team. He's going to be pressing high, he wants the ball. And obviously here we have to see the two centre backs because we know Eric, we know Minguez as well, that they like to go forward. Probably Lenglet has more tendency in going backward, but we will see if Piqué and Lenglet push us forward, and then we have Ter Stegen paying attention to the spaces left behind.
And Bruno, I think you are going to highlight a few of the statistics with regards to the last match against Valencia.
Yes, actually, we want to highlight how Barça played against Valencia, and of course, as you can see there in your screens, it's a really clear 4-3-3. It's Gavi playing a little bit more in the left, but look at Serginho's position. That is, of course, what I want to highlight. And look, Sergi Roberto, both right backs, really focused there on the job that they have to do and opening spaces. And related to this, if we can see the following slide that we have prepared, is how the game changed for Barça in terms of the attacking thirds, because here we have it. This is the game against Valencia, for example. Look how balanced more or less is between the left and the right, of course with Serginho Dest playing up in the right. And compared with Benfica, who actually in the left was the same Serginho Dest, but playing as a left back, how practically the whole game was played there in that side. This is a tendency that in the last games, not just this one of Benfica, in other league games, we have seen Barça was playing a lot in the left. Of course, today with no Ansu Fati there is another of the players that always can help you. But with Serginho Dest in the right, Pau, I don't know if you agree with me that today probably Serginho Dest will have to be really important there, and that's one of the options Koeman has picked him to open spaces and to have both strong sides in the right and in the left.
Yes, and I'm really looking forward to how Mingueza will interact with him, because at the end we know that Mingueza likes to arrive into the final third, to have these passes in the box, occupy inside space as well, which will force probably Dest to occupy this outside space, make it out wide. And also the other day, talking about the pressure that you were mentioning before, Serginho Dest used to retreat a little bit because of Gaia. He was paying attention a lot onto that, so probably having a Dest going forward straight away from the very beginning and recovering these balls up front, because I've been checking the goals that they conceded against Bayern, and many of the goals came after losing the ball starting from the back, like the second coach was saying, that they like to have this ball.
It's also an all-or-nothing game for Dinamo Kiev in order to get qualified for the round of 16.
Exactly.
They've made 4 changes in the lineup, so I don't think they are also in their best moment in general. In the league they are still leaders, but in the Champions League they also suffered a lot against Bayern Munich, losing 5-0. And yeah, they have introduced 5 changes. Ketsiora, Sirota, Bujalski and Sufraja are the 4 players that will start today instead of Simcic, Shabonov, Andrievski and Harmash. So 2 changes in defense and 2 up front. The number 9 actually changes today with the chance for Sufraja.
Well, it's going to be a special match indeed, and even all the more special, of course, seeing as the fans are back allowed in the stadium. And on that note, why don't we head over back to the Camp Nou to connect with Mai to see what the ambience is like and see if you got to talk to any fans. Mai?
Well, Diego, we're here with some of the fans that are arriving right now at Camp Nou. And I have here a guy who's dressing. Can you turn to see your jersey? Frankie de Jong, because the question is, where are you guys from?
We're from Holland, of course.
And what are you doing here in Barcelona?
Well, we're watching the game tonight, and we hope Barcelona wins finally a Champions League game, and we hope some goals from Memphis and from Frankie.
Of course, you support all the Holland guys from the team, and our coach is actually from Holland also, so we have many Dutch people in our team. What do you expect for tonight? Apart from the prediction that we want to know your score for tonight, what do you expect in this game?
Well, I think it's going to be a lovely game because we have to win. So I think it's going to be exciting, and I think we win 2-0. Yeah.
You want to say something to the team, like a support message or something that they probably can hear?
Well, we are Twan and we are Jos from Holland, and we support, of course, Barcelona. En voor de Nederlandse jongens, zet hem op en winnen vanavond.
Thank you so much. This is part of the reactions from the fans here, and you can see, Diego, we have people from anywhere in the country.
Well, that's excellent to see. And as a fellow Dutchie, zet hem op, kom op Barça. You can imagine what that means. It just means go on, Barça. We can do it. We can do it indeed. We'd like to see the fans back at the stadium, of course. Although, because of the strange hour, I don't know if we can expect a full Camp Nou. It is a weird hour here in Spain, seeing as still many people are still obviously working. But good to see the fans back. And, well, I don't know. What are you guys expecting? Are you expecting sort of a half full against Valencia? 47,000?
Yeah, I'd say more or less half full, which is what we saw the other day. Yeah. Obviously, as you mentioned, this is a weird hour in which lots of people here are still leaving work. Yeah. So, I mean, we might see people drift in gradually into the game.
It's a good excuse to leave work early. Right?
It is a good excuse to leave work early. We're not able to do it here. We're going to stay here. But no, I mean, I think that the one who can attest to this the most is Bruno, who was there on Sunday at the Camp Nou, pitchside reporter on that day. And you could feel the atmosphere as more and more people are allowed into Camp Nou.
The ones that will be there for sure, that they will support a lot the team, because we are seeing it during the whole campaign. It's not being an easy year so far, but the supporters always having with the team, and let's see, of course, if tonight also they can celebrate a good night. We will have to wait, I think, 5, 10 minutes, 15, because traffic jams in Barcelona is getting crazy. The city of Barcelona has changed a lot, so we can analyze at halftime probably which is the attendance, because I'll imagine that most of people will miss the first minutes, and if they miss the first minutes, why not? They can miss some Barca goals.
Well, we don't know. One player that definitely is not going to miss any of the first minutes and will be there at the Camp Nou is Kun Aguero, and we got a chance to hear from the Argentinian striker before the match.
Sí, bueno, obviamente esto es diferente, es Champions League y nada, con muchas ganas y bueno, se ve el equipo con esa confianza para poder mañana lograr los 3 puntos, ¿no? Está claro que tenemos que ganar sí o sí, tuvimos 2 derrotas y nada, no nos queda otra que empezar a ganar y bueno, ya después ver los otros resultados, pero yo creo que ya más depende de nosotros.
It's always a bit of confidence what you need and what you get if you win the game. The way how we play in the first half was really good, and that's the way how we like to continue. And we know the importance of the game of tomorrow, because we need a win, we need 3 points, and we are well prepared to win the game for tomorrow. Yeah, the team is well prepared. What I said before, they got a certain confidence out of the game against Valencia is to continue to do things better in the second half that we didn't do good against Valencia, and try to make a game more complete and in different ways with our ball position, but also when we lose the ball to have a really fast reaction to recover, and that's really important in our way of playing.
Ronald Koeman there stressing that we have to really impose our style of play. Of course, both him and Sergio Aguero very well aware of the fact that, well, this is an absolute must-win game. And on the note of Kun Aguero, of course, him making his debut against Valencia was great for all Barça fans and for the player alike. Can we expect him maybe to get any minutes today?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope we get to see a little bit more of him because we only saw really 5 minutes once the game was done, once Felipe Coutinho scored. And I'm really looking forward to see what Kun Aguero can bring to this team. He's another option that we've got up front. I've said it so many times now, I feel very repetitive, but he's a proven goal scorer.
Yeah.
He scored over 20 goals in each season that he played for Manchester City, except for 2 of those. And one of them because he was struck with injuries last season. So I'm hoping that we can have a healthy Aguero and that we can have one that can contribute in terms of creating opportunities and scoring. And I'm really excited to see him. Let's see if he gets 20, 25 minutes, half an hour today. I'm hoping that'll be the case.
And Pau, what do you think? I mean, obviously, Kun gives Koeman another attacking option, but what do you think precisely he adds to the team?
Well, what I saw within the 5 minutes that he played was that all the players were looking for him, obviously, because he was the new guy, probably.
And the fans as well, demanding that players
they
would
were
pass
like,
the ball.
pass it to Kun. Everyone was looking for it, even if there wasn't a passing line. But what I saw is that he was like very close to the ball. He was providing options continuously. He likes to have the ball and associate or relate with players who are close to him. So these 1-2 actions, these third man actions, and he likes to step into the box, which is something that we want. We want to create chances. We want to make the opponents feel that they are about to concede a goal. And definitely Kun is going to be stepping on the box, receiving balls in there and reacting quickly with the feet.
And the good news for Ronald Koeman, if you analyze and you check Barca's bench today, you have Ansu Fati, you have Felipe Coutinho, you have Riqui Puig. I mean, you have plenty of options to change things if you need it during the game. That in the last games, and actually, if we compare last Champions League clash against Benfica, he had no options in the bench to try and change things. So that's another important thing to take into account now for the team, that players are getting recovered. So you start having now options to change the dynamic, and if a game goes for one way, you can change it.
And that is, of course, taking into account that we still don't have Ousmane Dembele. Pedri is still recovering. Araujo today is out as well. We have obviously the long-term injury of Martin Braithwaite. I mean, as Koeman gets more and more options now, we'll see more depth. We'll see more ability to change up the lineups, and if things go wrong, more ability to change the game as well in midway.
Well, now this Barça Dinamo Kiev was not the only game that was played today. There was, of course, also the Barça Dinamo in the Youth League. In fact, let's head back over to Mai because let's find out how this game fared for the Young Guns. Or let's first find out a little bit more about the fans that are in the stadium.
Well, Diego, we're here with more fans, and you don't know. There are actually, where are you guys from?
We are from Holland, the Netherlands.
The Netherlands, yeah.
We have many people today from the Netherlands because we have many people on the team from Netherlands. What do you guys expect for tonight?
I expect a 3-1.
Yeah, I think the same.
Yeah.
We're gonna win.
We're gonna win, yes.
And as scorers, who do you think will score tonight?
Memphis. And
I hope Memphis and Ansu Fati. Yes.
I think PK will score a header too.
That's a good one. And if you guys can send a message to the team as a support, because we need to win tonight, what would it be?
Guys, do all the best you can because you deserve it.
Yes, that's the same. And put pressure on the other team.
And you came here just for the game?
No. We have holidays and the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, good luck, guys, and enjoy the game.
Thank you very much. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, Diego, more reaction here, and I think everyone tonight is from Netherlands.
Well, more Dutchies heading into the stadium. You can tell that traveling is getting back to normality.
Yeah.
The Dutch people are making their way down south. I love to see it. I don't know if the locals are as happy, but us Dutch people are very happy to escape the rainy weather over in Holland. But guys, we heard the scores. Is it about time that we guess our scores? I see that you've got your phone ready.
I've got my phone ready, obviously, because I'm going to go on the Barca app and register my prediction for tonight's game, which is going to be a strong, emphatic 4-0 win for Barca. And as you can see on our screens right now, you can take part in Guess the Score on the Barca app and fcbarcelona.com. And you can take part in the Matchday Challenge, which includes the Guess the Score. It has the game quiz as well, and you can rate the game also after. You can rate from 1 to 10 the performance for Football Club Barcelona. Barcelona. If you get all of the points possible, if you get your score right, for example, that gives you a lot of points. You can win game day prizes, which is the Matchday jersey. I'm gonna.
You've got to be up there already, Robert.
No, I haven't got. I haven't been able to guess the score yet correctly this season. I'm hoping that my 4-0 today will get me that jersey. And if at the end of the season you're the leader on the board, you get the season prize, which is tickets to next season's El Clásico.
That's the big one.
Tickets for 2 people to travel to Barcelona for a week. Your experience gets recorded in a video blog. It's
the full Monty.
Don't miss it. Don't miss out on it. I mean,
you got to partake. You guys got to partake. So go over to the Barça app, go to the webpage, wherever it might be, submit your scores, and well, should we do a little prediction right here? Bruno, what's your score prediction for today?
4-0 for Barça.
You're going to copy me.
4-1. Sorry. No, I had in my mind the 4-1 because I think we probably will have we were going to concede 1 goal.
Okay.
And yeah, the Robert opinion confused me. No, 4-1.
4-1. Pau.
I was about to say that we would concede, but now I'm going to turn into a 3-0 for us.
So 4-1, 3-0, 4-0, and I'm going to go. I'll go with a thriller. I'll go with a 3-2 win.
3-2 win. All right. Well,
yes.
the most voted result right now is a 3-1 with 24.3% of the votes. 3-0 is the second result, 21.2. My 4-0, only 8% of people trusting.
Okay. All right. So in the minority, but who knows? You can still. That doesn't mean you can't win. It's no. In the end, what counts is the score. But we're seeing the players in the tunnel. Why don't we go over the lineups for today one more time, Robert?
Let's go for it. Barça will start with a 4-3-3 with Marc-Andre ter Stegen in goal, Oscar Mingueza, Piqué, Langlais and Jordi Alba in defense, with Sergio Busquets, Frenkie de Jong and Gavi in midfield, Dest, Luke de Jong and Memphis up front. For Dinamo Kiev, it'll be a 4-2-3-1 formation, and the men picked by Mircea Lucescu are Bushan in goal, Ketziora, Zavarny, Sirota and Mikolenko at the back, the double pivot with Sidorchuk and Shaparenko. The 3 attacking midfielders will be Sigankov, Buyalski and Carlos De Pena up front, Supriaya. This is a team, by the way, guys, that made it very difficult for Barca last season at the Camp Nou. It was a 2-1 win. We got the 3 points, but they had several opportunities and could have easily run away with some points.
Saved it for us, really.
Yeah, he did.
And about Lucescu, one can think, well, he's one of the managers with Arsene Wenger that has lost more times against Barca, but on the other hand, he has won 2 games and 1 draw. Not bad stat at all if we take into account that Lucescu has been managing teams not favourites in the Champions League, like Shakhtar Donetsk, where he passed his best era, now with Shakhtar Donetsk. So, I mean, he's a manager also that knows to compete, and last season also put things difficult to Barcelona at the Camp Nou, and it will be interesting, I think, to see their strengths tonight. And let's expect, and hopefully if Barca can score also an early goal to everything get a bit more calm. But it's going to be kind of the first game. I think this group is really under pressure, because actually last campaign, well, it's true, the team loses in the first game, in the first leg of the round of 16 against PSG, so then they go there without being favourites. In the league, it's always a regular competition, so probably we're talking that tonight is a kind of the first key and class game of this group and this manager, Ronald Koeman.
Definitely. Well, the game is close to starting. Diego, we'll see you in post-game.
Yes, indeed.
See if you get your prediction right.
We will see. Keep our fingers
3-2.
crossed.
I'm really not in for a thriller tonight. I mean, I'm more for a 4-0. Just keep ourselves calm, be able to pace ourselves before El Clásico on Sunday as well.
That is true. That is a good point. Well,
right. We'll see you in post-game, Diego.
All right. Cheers.
Okay. And guys, this is of course a must-win game for Barca after falling defeated against Benfica and Bayern Munich in the first 2 games of the group stage. Is that added pressure Barca's main enemy today, as I was saying before?
Well, it's something that definitely they are taking into consideration. They know it. It's a fact. And sometimes it can be a motivation for them, like they don't want to consider or have another loss. So hopefully they can deal with the pressure. The players are used to that in Barca. So.
Yeah, I think, at least for me, I think it is positive. When you're a football player, you want to play this kind of games. Well, I mean, once you are involved in that situation, it's a kind of a night that you have to be focused, motivated, and I'm sure that they will assume this pressure in the good way. I hope and I expect. On the other way, Kiev are wearing similar to Real Madrid, this white,
yeah.
full white. So let's
like
see if they also get a bit motivated in that way and they practice for what is coming up.
Sunday. Right, well, this is about to get started. We've got an image right now of Ansu Fati on the bench, but we'll hope to see him in the second half. Barca will have the first possession wearing that Champions League kit, by the way. It's not the traditional Blaugrana one that we wear in La Liga. There's a specific Champions League kit that Barca wears in home games, and as Bruno said, Dinamo Kiev playing in white. Barca will be attacking from left to right, and we're waiting for the referee to blow the whistle and get this started in this unusual kickoff time in Barcelona, 6:45 in the evening. Of course, Barca are allowed to have 100% capacity at Camp Nou. I'd say more or less from what we can see, it's 50% at the moment. The game has just gotten started. Barca with the first few touches, and Jordi Alba playing with Clement Lenglet, who replaces the injured Ronald Araujo or the suspended Eric Garcia for today's game.
Yeah, it's a good test for Lenglet, as we said, because a season with the signing of Eric Garcia and with Araujo absolutely on fire. He hasn't get probably the protagonism that he normally expects, and tonight is a fantastic game for him to show that he could still be an important piece of this Barca.
Well, Dinamo Kiev have recovered the ball here. Barca attempting to play some high pressure here, led by Luc de Jong, Memphis and Serginho Dest up